safe to do.
Right, but that makes my point for me that the ideology, unless presented with new patterns, is going to hold still based on pattern recognition.
Yes, based on pattern. But that's why it's on the individual as well, too. So that.
You said like women are like less like not available but reliable for like advice and stuff. Like for me it's much different. Like growing up in the South, like my mom and my grandmother and my aunties, like those powerful women were the ones leading the family, like giving advice, cooking all the meals, and like I couldn't really name maybe like one or two males that really had a dramatic impact on my life where I would say like, oh yeah, like
well, I
that.
need you to remember this though.
Yeah.
That I didn't actually say who was more available for advice.
No, that was a bad.
What I said
term.
was
Who was better if you
the
asked.
ones I would actually go to for advice.
See, for me, it wouldn't be a man because
I actually said women are more available, a lot more available for
but
advice,
the good
and
advice.
a lot more likely to give
Depends
it
on
to
the
them.
subject. I think it depends on what you're asking them advice on.
Right.
Because women would be experts on makeup, for example, like stereotypically.
Or raising kids.
Stereotypically.
Well, you know, here's the thing.
Are you
Why
going
the
to
fuck
them
would a
for-
guy go to a girl for advice on makeup?
We can answer that. We're in
I'll just
LA.
give you an example. Like women are
But I
excelling
mean,
in
let's
certain
actually
things.
dive into like the examples, right?
Okay.
Sure.
So the example of like makeup.
Well,
Guys aren't going to go to fucking women for advice on makeup,
I'm
so
just
don't
saying,
wear it.
like when women
So-
go to other women for
Well, what
advice,
would
it's on their
men-
expertise.
What would men be going to women for advice for?
Emotions.
On how to get women.
That's about it, right?
How to
Part
keep
of it.
them.
When you think about it, like let's break it down.
A woman who
There's
makes a lot
not
of money.
actually that much
Yeah.
for men to go to women for advice on. So if they wanted to talk to very wealthy people, plenty of men who are very wealthy, usually more wealthy than women. If it was going to come down to an occupational like skills, there's no way women are going to get better advice on electrical, roofing, concrete
It
mixing.
depends. Just
no,
like
it
I
doesn't
said,
depend.
makeup was one of
It doesn't
them.
depend. What woman are you going to go to
women
for advice
excel-
on mixing concrete? Come on.
Well, some women would
Come
be better at
on.
sales specifically.
Sales.
It
Yeah,
depends.
yeah. But here's the thing. Even then, right? Wouldn't you, if you were a man, go, okay, well, there's some disadvantages I have immediately, like I don't have boobs and I'm not cute and I don't have this and I don't
Right.
have that. You're going to go to who
Gonna
for
go
the
for-
best advice on how to sell shit as a man? Men.
I think you're gonna go with someone that looks like you. That way you're like, how do you do what you
Right.
do?
I
With
think
that
you
part
could
I agree
go
with.
to
But
advice for
of
women
course.
on if they're the person you're trying to sell to. You could get advice on
That
being better at
market.
sales through that.
that would
Yeah,
be market
except-
research.
Yeah.
Except the most successful marketers on planet Earth were men.
But they probably asked
and they
women.
got the entire planet to smoke. And they got the entire planet to do all of these other things, which are...
This isn't the greatest argument right now.
Well, actually, it is.
No, I'm kidding.
It is.
I got you.
Imagine you could
like
get
imagine all the bad, but you
could
said
get-
good advice.
Well, imagine that you can actually get through crafted propaganda the whole population to smoke. That was men who were able to at least craft that propaganda. It worked
Sure.
for men and women.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, and
Well,
they
men
weren't like,
were the ones
and by
who
the
were
way, that was
first
like the
able
most
to get into those
misogynistic society
roles.
ever. They weren't.
I
What's
think
that?
that's what she said was that men were the first ones who could get in that role, and I think that.
So they have, they're a step ahead of women.
That's
in regards
what's
to certain
changing.
roles.
Like
No,
now,
no.
I'm an executive chef. When you wouldn't really see executive
Yeah.
chefs in a female role. Like now, my fiance is a pilot. Like
Women are
it's changing.
terrible at marketing.
Oh,
let me give you
actually,
some advice.
well, how many women
let me
are
give you
in
a
that
massive
marketing
example.
field?
Most-
Do you remember
most
Bud Light? Bud Light had a
influencers are
massive
women.
controversy where they put Mulvaney on a Bud Light beer can, right? And then lost
go well
the
for
entire
them.
market share of Bud Light, spearheaded by a woman. Right, spearheaded by a woman
When
trying to
was
sell
that?
this beer, not because
So
she
you consider
understood.
Dylan a woman?
What's that?
Well, that depends on, because I know a little bit about your background that I'm assuming you don't see Dylan Mulvaney as a
Yeah, I
woman.
see the woman in charge of the marketing campaign as
Okay.
a woman.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm
the
just trying
woman
to
in charge
see
of the
who you're
marketing campaign
saying
who had
the
a
woman
vagina is
in
definitely a
charge.
woman.
Yeah.
By any criteria I can think of.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know if you were talking about Dylan specifically or if your opinions had
No,
changed.
the person who put Dylan on the can.
Okay.
That was a female in charge of that. Completely fucked it all up, right? There's multiple marketing campaigns actually I can point to that women spearheaded that they fucked up because they don't take in the male element. They take in the female element. That was a campaign.
I think that's something to learn
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
was a campaign
I'm sure we
led
can
by
point to
empathy.
men failures as well too, but
marketing
like
and other-
you know what I mean on marketing. But
Yeah.
there was a study that did come out, and I can't remember the guy's name, so I haven't gotten to say it. But he just there's studies that have come out. We can debate it or whatever, but apparently women make excellent CEOs and better CEOs.
No, they don't.
That's not. That's on. There's data on that one.
No, but well,
But
here's the
it's
thing.
changing.
You can look
Is-
on that one.
Hang on,
Someone
hang
else
on.
can
There's
Google
also
that.
data. There's also data on this. There's also data that says that if you have corporations that do diversity hires, they actually do better than corporations that don't. That was a study that came out that I was just debating the other day, till I came into the debate with all of the modern refutations to the study based on, of course, the new evidence which emerged when they went back to replicate that study. Turns out those companies were already doing great. They just had so much money they were able to start
Talking
playing
about like
with
Costco?
There was tons. There was a bunch of Fortune 500 S&Ps.
Right.
They just had so much money that they were able to start playing around with this model.
Right.
That's not a
It wasn't
diversity
that
hire.
model made them rich. They were already
No, so
fucking
that's-
rich. They just had enough money that they could start playing with the model.
What's the term for that? That's damn, I'm blanking on
DEI.
it. No. You know when like something looks like it's coming from
correlation.
this. There we go.
Yeah.
Correlation.
It was a correlation, not a causation. Correct.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So just,
And
yeah.
They actually said like
This
they
could
took
have
a
been.
correlate. They took a correlate
Exactly.
and then pretended it was
Yeah.
a causation when it wasn't to affirm a bias.
Yeah.
So the thing is like, anytime I look at this stuff, right, I realize that whenever it's led by empathy first, which women usually lead their morality by empathy first, it's usually a massive failure. It's usually a massive failure.
I hope that they mix both. I think that we can learn from both men and women. I agree, because I think that if a woman's just coming in and she's only looking at the empathy, then yeah, absolutely, you're losing it. But if a guy's coming in and he's only looking at one thing as well too, I think that, if you open yourself up and think about different things and new ways of
Yeah, but I
attacking
wouldn't
it.
dispute that. I wouldn't dispute the idea that there's going to be some. So I wouldn't monolith anything. I wouldn't say anything's always an all of anything. But if we look at general trends, what we can see is that women lead with empathy first, right? Men tend to lead with reason first.
Yeah, when I coach differently, like if I coach women, I have to get them to like stop with feeling stuff. It's I just need you forward motion. But with men, I need them stop forward motion because you're making mistakes and not assessing. So I need you intuitive. So men can listen to your gut. You've done it, and you've said it. You right now could look at someone or look at someone's profile and intuitively kind of know based on logic, based on things, based on whatever. But you could know who that person is, what they're about to do or say, or whatnot, or if they're a good person, decent person, or full of shit.
I've had a significant,
You can have intuition as a
but
man.
I've had significant advantages of having tons and tons of interpersonal conversations with thousands of different people all over the place, right?
So it helps your intuition.
I have significant advantages that the general public would not have when it came to understanding what people are saying, why they're saying it, what type of worldview they're leading from.
Yeah.
Most people don't have that.
No.
And because they don't, right, it's easy enough for me to just say, look, generally women do lead with empathy.
Yes.
And generally men do lead with reason.
Yes.
If that's the case, right, who the fuck would you want in charge of every situation?
Both.
Probably the sex
I want the
that led
person.
with
I
reason.
want either one that's unlocked both. So for a man, if he's got
Why?
intuition,
What advantage does empathy give you over reason?
Because
no,
you're
it's
human.
intuition. Think about it
Because
as
you're human.
intuition.
No, not intuition.
In
That's not my
regards to
question.
marketing-
What advantage?
Oh, yeah,
does-
emotions.
When it comes to
Hold up.
marketing-
If a man
Women
has
do
empathy,
usually.
if a man has is able to do forward motion plus empathy,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he's lethal.
What?
That's it.
How? What does the empathy give him?
In the marriage
You really
market,
care about other things?
like if you're in the dating pool, a woman's gonna look for a man who has empathy as well as strength.
EQ.
But if you have reason, couldn't she just fake the empathy?
Who's faking it?
Who's
But then,
gonna
I
get
mean,
married to
that's
someone
not
who's been
at that
faking for
point.
that
Yeah.
long? And you
can
usually
only
can
fake
spot
for
red
so long.
flags.
So, like the idea, I'll give you this great example of this, right? And almost probably every man will do this, where his woman comes to him with some stupid fucking problem he doesn't give a shit about, but she does, right? She cares about it for whatever reason, and it's literally fucking meaningless. Totally meaningless, means nothing,
Sure.
totally irrelevant, totally nonsensical. Nobody on planet Earth gives a shit. He's like this. He goes, "It's okay, honey." Right? Now, in his mind, I'm going to tell you what he's thinking. What he's thinking in his head is, God, this is fucking stupid, and I hope that you just stop with this fucking shit in the next 20 minutes. That would be great. I got other shit to do. I can't even believe that you're hysterical about this. They're faking empathy.
Well, if you
They're
care, if
faking
you care about
empathy, okay? They're
Wait, hold up.
faking empathy.
We have to do that too.
do that too.
Yeah, we know. It's called a relationship.
Yeah, there you go.
But-
No. I'm kidding.
genuinely
I'm
care
kidding
about
on that
your
one.
partner-
Don't
I don't
jump down my throat on that.
Are you actually that way with your wife?
Sometimes. Like,
Okay,
like there's
but-
been times where my wife, for instance, right, just like every woman on planet Earth, she's been on her period, she's completely irrational, right, says some stupid ass fucking shit, and I've told her things like, go to your room. Literally go to your room and take a fucking nap.
She came
until you
back
can
out
act
that room and
until you can
talk to
act
you
like
after?
a fucking human being. Go to your room and take a fucking nap.
I hope she speaks.
And you know what she
I was
does?
saying,
She
she's
goes to
still
her room and she takes a
Is she
fucking nap. And the next thing I
stronger,
know,
though, too?
she acts like a rational human being.
Does she
again.
speak to you that way too, though? And I mean that in a good way. But is she? Do you
Yeah.
guys get to
Let us-
communicate like?
let us pretend.
You know what I mean?
Let us pretend for a moment.
Because I'm Italian, so we
Okay,
talk like that as women too
I'll
in our
respond to-
families.
Yeah, I'll respond. to
So
this.
I'm just saying that it's a good thing.
I'll respond to this. Let us pretend for a moment that for a week out of every month, I completely lost my fucking mind due to hormones and started like, I don't know, ripping doors off of hinges. I'm sure she probably wouldn't be very pleasant about that.
Yes, exactly.
But guess what? But guess what?
She'd be like, go take a nap.
because I don't have what is called hormonal lunacy once a month. You don't have to worry about that. Men lead with reason. So no, of
You
course
would think-
my wife's not going to talk to me like that.
maybe you might have some reason, but you suppress emotions and you emotionally explode in
You're
anger.
supposed to suppress emotions.
Yes,
As a man, you're
absolutely. Go
supposed
for
to.
it. Suppress. Men out there, suppress. And
Yes,
then hire men.
suppress. You don't want to see what happens. when
Push
you
it
have
down.
hormonal women.
You only allow
Balance,
horniness
balance.
and anger.
Really quick before I move this on, you've been grimacing the entire
I know, and then we got, and she had such a great point.
Yeah, she has. This
You've
is
not been happy.
yeah.
Come back to
what,
us.
what do you think about this terrible misogynist?
For when you
What a misogynist. Can't believe what I've just heard.
Terrible, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't turn to men for help or for emotional support. What did he actually say? Like he doesn't care about what the girl is talking about, like her feelings, saying like lunacy, hysterical, all these words. Like even hysteria, the word etymologically is like anti-women. Like it's made up by men to saying women are crazy. So I don't know.
Do women? Let me ask you a question. Do men get periods?
No. So
Okay,
what?
so
No, they do change hormonally.
But no,
We've
they don't.
noticed.
Not
Yeah.
like that. No,
You
they
do
don't.
have hormonal frequencies.
Do,
That's
do
like
women?
the-
Hang on. Do women one time per month have massive hormonal changes which affect literally how they think?
Yeah.
Yes, not everybody.
Not every woman. You can
Everybody
actually
No,
has,
not
like,
everybody.
emotions.
You can actually have
No.
smaller.
Like,
No,
why
not
do
everybody.
I turn to women for help? It's because, like, when I feel really sad, I need to have emotional support.